Good morning everyone. Today I am going to take up the lesson Curse from Confluence 2. This is a poem written by Kavita Sinha. To begin with, let's discuss the author. Kavita Sinha from 1931 to 1999, and she was a Bengali poet, a novelist, a feminist and a radio director. She is noted for her modernist stance, rejecting the traditional housebound role for Bengali women, a theme echoed later in the works of other poets including Malika Sengupta and Talisman Nasreen. Born into a literary family, she started writing as a child, and she was part of the dissidence movements in 1950 and prime force in addressing women's dissident at the time when Nehruvian politics was taking hold in the country. In 1965, she joined the All India Radio, and at one point of time, she was a station director in Darbhanga, Bihar. So quite a versatile personality. In 1966, again, she started the poetry magazine, Dainik Kavita, and her husband. And she did this with her husband. Kavita was a supporter of the Bangladesh Liberation War, and she would be narrating the news of the war proceedings over the radio. In 1981, she was invited to the our International Writers Workshop. In the 80s, she launched a number of programs involving the youth in All India Radio, and she died in the year 1998 in Kolkata. So she was a very versatile activist. Her works, quite a lot of work she has written. So this is the list I have made for all of you to look at. She has been recognized as the first feminist poet of Bengali literature. Although primarily known for her poetry, she had first entered the Bengali literature as a novelist. Her first novel, Charnan Ragi Jobati, Four Angry Young Women, were published in 1956, and this was followed by Ekti Kharap Mayer Golpo, that is a story of a bad girl, in 1958, and Naika Patinaika, heroine, anti-heroine, 1960. In the meantime, she was also writing poetry in the various magazines, but her finest volumes of poetry, Sehet Sundari, that is Easy Beauty, was published in 1965. And in 1976, her collection of poems came up very well with so many series of poems as mentioned here, you can see. Then other collections include Harina Bairi, again, which won a good award for her in 1986. In total, she published nearly 50 books, including some under pen name Sultana Chaudhary also. Why the pen name? Because being a feminist activist, she was not at all welcomed by the people. She has been anthologized in a wide range of poetry collections, which has been widely translated. Okay, the present poem Curse is written by Kavita Sinha in Bengali, but it was translated by Carolyn Wright and Inakshi Chatterjee in English. And that is how we all are lucky to have the opportunity to read this poem here today. So, talking a little bit about Carolyn Wright and Inakshi Chatterjee. Carolyn, she studied at Seattle University, New York University, and graduated from Syracuse University with master's and doctoral degree. She is the translator, editor of Artful Dodge, and her work appeared in Agni, Artful Dodge, Hotel America, Hunger Mountain, Iowa Review, so many various places her works have been published. From 2004 to 2008, she served on the board of directors of the Association of Writers and Writing Programs, and since 2005, she teaches at the Whitby Writers Workshop. 2008, she is Thornton Poet in Residence at Lynchburg College and Distinguished Northwest Poet at Seattle University, and presently living in Seattle. Inakshi Chatterjee, born in 1934, married to Santime Chatterjee in 1956, she moved to Calcutta. She wrote on subjects other than modern science jointly and singly for children and adults, and she has rendered into English a wide range of modern Bengali fiction and poetry. In 2004, she was awarded the Vidya Sagar Award by the Government of West Bengal for children's literature, and apart from her passion for literature and translation, she is deeply interested in history of science, popular science, science fiction and children's literature. Her deepest publication is a memoir, Past perfect, translated and edited by her, originally written by her mother, Parul Banerjee. Now talking about this present poem. The poem Curse, the title itself suggests you some kind of ill wish from someone towards someone. Let's see who's this, these two sides involved. The Curse is an impacting poem that depicts the selfish nature of men towards nature and our forests. These lines force us to think about the injustice we are doing against the nature and warn about the repercussions of our deeds. So, this poem makes us realize that how each and every one of us is blamed for destroying the forests around us recklessly just for our needs and wants. So, afforestation, deforestation, the popular terminologies comes into use here for this lesson, this poem. Human greed and materialism is increased so much, it is highlighted here, and how it has impacted our natural resources, which is depleting badly because of human greed and materialism. This poem tries to raise man's consciousness for saving trees, having mercy on trees, and not to cut them down without any kind of need. Looking at the text, let's start interpreting it. Look now, the entire forest has gone dead as wood in this room. In that polished four-poster bed, that nocturnal chair, you are sitting on a tree's tomb, and on the table the stony-eyed cocktaku is a dead bird hunched in a dead branch, and you're absorbing their curses daily because you alone have thrashed the whole forest to death. So quite a forceful way of expressing, probably. So look at this. Look now. The entire forest has gone dead as wood in this room. So the room you are sitting into is completely covered with wood. The bed made of wood, your chair made of wood, your stool made of wood, your wardrobe made of wood, your other antique pieces made of wood. Everything around you is made of wood. But where did the wood come from? From the forest which is dead now. The forest which has been killed by you now. So the poem here, in these lines, the poet is heartbroken and livid at the fact that the entire forest is dead and decorated in one room. According to her, we all are sitting on the tombs of dead nature. That is the nocturnal chair, the rocking chair where you keep on swinging, you enjoy the chair, you enjoy the breeze, you enjoy reading papers on that chair, you enjoy having fun. But that nocturnal chair, the chair which keeps you rocking and rolling, that comes from the dead forests. For the greed of materialistic things, the cocktaku, which is dead, is also used as a decorative piece in the room in which, and this sight is sickening. The poet here is talking about how man, for his own use and luxuries, have made the forests dead. The dead trees and animals are cursing us daily, and we, sitting ignorantly amongst them, are absorbing their ill wishes. This shows how we have destroyed an entire ecosystem just to satisfy our needs and wants. As the last line says, of this stanza says, because you have all thrashed the whole forest to death. Just for what? To satisfy your own needs and demands, your luxurious demands. So, the poem here begins with criticizing man's extra luxurious demands and how due to that the forests are completely out of sight today. The second stanza, this chunk of wood once gave forth living flowers. Inside the myriad solid buds, thick continuous life poured out. Your fancy bedstead won't be decked with flowers now. The pillow's cotton stuffing hankers for revenge. It will throw its damning silken cobwebs into your dreams. The disembodied forests will break into you. And among all this wood, you will be slowly turned to wood. The life force will drain out of your five senses. So in these lines, the forests, to begin with, I'll explain the forests that we have cut down and used were once overflowing with life. The buds were all around us. It was decked with flowers, and the animals would come and rest there. It was full of life and joy, which is over today. Now, however, we have killed the forests and taken cotton from it to stuff our pillows so that we get a comfortable sleep. We snatched their happiness from it, happiness of the plants. So the poet emphasizes on the fact that the cotton that we have taken to make our sleep comfortable will curse us and poison our dreams. She says that we will never be happy by killing and stripping other organisms from their lives. The poet thus warns us towards the end of the poem that just like we have drained the forests of all its prosperity and happiness, it will also do the same to us over a period of time. It shall take revenge and punish us. That is, in these lines, it is mentioned, and among all this wood, you will slowly be turned into wood. So what you have done to the woods will do to you. They will also turn into you into woods. That is, you will also be a dead thing one day. So this is the curse probably that will fall upon us. Our dreams will also be spoiled, filled with poisons. Our happiness and luxuries will also be killed away, taken away, and we will also be turned into wood, just as we have turned the forests into dead wood. So the curse is a heart-rending poem wherein the poet is trying to raise the consciousness of the people to stop deforestation and think again, and think that how we are harming the ecosystem and the lives and organisms around us. To conclude, this poem is a peek into the selfish nature of men. It forces us to think not only about ourselves but also about the other things and organisms which we share with our planet. The lines in the poem remind us that every action we take will have its own consequences and repercussions, and that we should be thoughtful and empathizing, and we should be regarding their lives as well. So before you do harm to anybody, you should first think. It can have some repercussions, it can have some consequences in near future. The imagery of vibrant and lively forest is created in this poem, which is converted to lifeless and decorative pieces by human beings, which is a warning to all of us that we too will face the same horrible end, all because of our deeds. We must start improving and take steps on the right path before it is late. We must start protecting our forests and plant more trees for a better future. There, the title of the poem reminds us that we are a curse, and that we take our forests for granted and cut them down with insensitivity for making space for our ever-growing population. The title reminds us that if we continue this way, the curse of the dead shall descend upon us with horrifying outcomes. So it's high time, people, to realize that we need to be empathetic towards these creatures also and stop cutting trees. Thank you so much. Hope the session was useful and I could put across the poem, the meaning to you. Thank you so much.